It's a common product used everywhere from public parks to private gardens.
We've got some of the poorest soils in the world and we need to do everything we can to reduce the amount of water usage we've got in our gardens and give it our best go, and mulches are critical for that. So no one should be scared of mulch.
But in New South Wales, mulch has become a dirty word. Since January, authorities have discovered asbestos in mulch at 41 sites, mostly in Sydney, including parks, schools and a hospital.
This is a criminal investigation. And as a result of that, obviously the EPA, while conducting contact tracing of all the mulch, at the same time as they're doing that, securing sites, keeping the public safe, they're also progressing their criminal investigation.
Exactly how asbestos ended up in mulch is yet to be revealed. The New South Wales Environment Protection Authority is investigating the entire supply chain. It's identified one supplier as common across all contaminated sites, Green Life Resource Recovery Facility. But the company denies any link, saying something has gone wrong elsewhere in the distribution process.
Green Life Resource Recovery Facility takes its responsibilities extremely seriously in processing eco-friendly mulch. The recycled mulch is independently tested by a National Authorities Testing Australia-approved laboratory. Independent testing shows the GRRF's mulch did not and does not contain asbestos.
The mulch at the centre of the Sydney crisis is made mostly from recycled timber pallets. Russell Norton makes the same type of mulch at the Mulch Centre in Geelong.
I can only surmise that there's been a failure in their processes. It wouldn't have happened here. To get that many sites, I feel there's been a major letdown in their processes to end up in that situation.
His facility has strict procedures in place to prevent contamination. Staff watch closely to make sure what's being processed is clean.
Every vehicle that comes to site with a load of their waste, we have staff on site that put eyes on every load that's tipped out. And if it's contaminated, they get charged a contamination fee. And it gives them incentive to make sure that what they're bringing to us is clean.
He's dealt with people trying to sneak in plastic bottles, rocks and takeaway wrappers, but not asbestos.
I have heard of other contamination that's found its way into the likes of composts and other mulch streams. From my, wanting to know why these occur, something for us to look out for as a company, we have found that it's due to poor staff training or machinery failure.
Testing for contaminants also relies on the human eye.
We've got the sample here in this big bag, and this comes straight from our clients.
And is this potentially from one of the contaminated sites, Linda?
It could be from any one of the sites that are currently in the news, or it could be from some customer who's wanting to know what's going on at their place. As you can see, this material is all sorts of different shapes and sizes. It might all look brown, but there's different colours in there. It's a meticulous inspection process through this to actually start to identify if there's any suspicious looking fibres or bundles there.
There's no asbestos found in this sample at this stage of the testing process, but we're not done yet.
It goes on.
The mulch is next put through a mechanical sieve, then examined under a microscope.
Now when we find that material, we separate it out and then we will do some separate analysis on that material. We'll break it apart, try and disintegrate it to actually pull out and extract fibres of interest.
It's a long and onerous job. At all but one Sydney site, what's been found is bonded asbestos, also known as non-friable. Linda Apthorpe showed us some samples.
We've got the classically friable material here, and this can be crumbled in your fingers to dust, like a piece of cake. It's very easy to release fibres into the air for breathing in. So this is a really high risk material. I've got some other examples here, and this is the non-friable material, and it's really difficult to get those fibres out and to be released and for them to become airborne.
Other states are watching on. Queensland agencies are now conducting precautionary testing at some mulch suppliers, while the ACT has confirmed New South Wales mulch is in the territory. So what's the risk of actually becoming ill from the contamination crisis? Professor Bernard Stewart is an expert in environmental causes of cancer, including asbestos.
The risk is astonishingly small. It's not to be confused with the risk to school children posed by road safety or posed by children taking up smoking or vaping.
But Professor Stewart supports the EPA's approach.
Other causes of cancer don't have a definitively link with a particular tumour type, and asbestos and mesothelioma have that link. So the EPA has no alternative but to address the possibility of exposure by every means at their disposal, again because of community anxiety and because of the possibility later down the track of litigation based on the premise that not enough was done.
Linda Apthorpe says New South Wales authorities face a huge task investigating and remediating potentially contaminated sites.
This job of clean-up and remediation is huge. There's a high degree of perceived risk because of the presence of that asbestos. However, in reality, the actual risk is extremely low.